One plays it straight, the other's a fool. What can we learn about movies from these two? Here are some questions they'll answer for you. Who is an actor that will make history? What's a good movie to go and see? Where is it showing, at home or the big screen? When is it coming? Can it wait to be seen? Why do they do it all day and all night? How can we manage without in the spotlight? Somehow we can manage, it won't be that tough, because their show is entertaining, but only just enough.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of In the Spotlight. Somehow, some way, we keep coming back. I'm Kyle Pierson.
And I am John Horton. And we are going to do some reviews tonight, boys and girls. We are going to start off with a movie called Hell of a Summer. Summer just ended, so we're going to see if we had a hell of a summer. And I don't think we did. I had a hell of a disappointment, though, because this movie I was so excited for, so pumped up for, because one of my things, my bread and butter, my favorite go-to for a movie is a summer camp slasher. I love the shit out of them. And that's what Hell of a Summer is. It's a summer camp slasher. It starts off really good. The first intro, the first before the credits and the kill, that was all great stuff. And then the movie actually starts getting into its characters and its plot line. And for me, it goes downhill from there. The characters are stupid. Their reactions are dumb. They jump to conclusions so easily and are so ready to, yeah, let's torture him. It's not realistic at all. I could deal with it if it was funny, but they weren't funny. The killer's motivation, I was a little bit questioning. I thought it was kind of a dumb motivation. It didn't do it for me. The beginning was great, and then from there it just went downhill. It's co-directed by, I believe, Finn Wolfhard. I always fuck up that kid's name from Stranger Things.
Wolfhard with a vengeance.
There you go, Wolfhard with a vengeance. I wasn't a big fan of it. What'd you think, Kyle?
I agree with almost every single thing you're stating. I thought the same thing. The introduction was phenomenal. It's actually one of probably the best intros to a horror film that I've seen in a long, long time. It gets you right off the bat. You're like, okay, this is going to be gory and funny, which is the type of film I like. So here we go. And then the open credits, get the title there, and then it slows down dramatically. Like you said, there's one instance where they are assuming something, and they want to attack somebody for the murders, and I'm like, well, shouldn't you do at least the slightest thing to try to prove that first? You're just jumping on the bandwagon here. So my wife and I spent more time questioning their motives than enjoying the film at that point. I did like how it ended. I think I remember enjoying the ending. So the bookends are good. It's just the part in the middle, which is too bad, because when you suggested we watch this film, my wife and I watched the trailer, because first you have to convince me, then I have to convince her. And so we both watched the trailer. We're like, oh, this looks like something we'd really want to watch anyway. So we pulled it up, and yeah, we're gung ho Charlie the first few minutes, and then unfortunately, it didn't keep up that pace and that thought process. It's almost like they were written by different people. It's like somebody made a movie and they're like, you know what, you really need something else to grab people's attention, so why don't I throw something together for you in the intro? And that's where that came from, but who knows. But for one hell of a summer, it wasn't a great summer, but it was watchable. I did find I got all the way to the end, and that doesn't always happen with some of these films. So I would say it's mid-range for me.
I'll agree with you on the watchability. I watched it once. I'll never watch it again. I was hoping that they would come back to that they would get. A lot of times with horror flicks, they have a knockout intro. They throw a death scene at you right in the beginning. And then you've got your character introductions, and that kind of slows things down a little bit if the characters aren't likable, which I didn't like any of the characters in this one. Even the main character I didn't like. But sometimes once you get done with the joking and the playing around and the sexies, then they're like, okay, it's back to business. Now we're going to go hardcore and we're going to do nothing but kill and flee and survive. This one didn't do it. This one kept that same fucking formula that they had throughout the entire movie. Um, it just no, I don't understand kids today.
And I like this main character. And I think it would have worked better if there was more characters for him to play off as opposed to everybody uh, not getting along or not mixing right, because it just felt like there's one guy trying to hold up this whole thing and it's
Right.
not gelling the way I wanted. And by the time we get, to the end, you're like, okay, enough already. So, but I think it was a good premise. It
Yeah.
just didn't cut it all the way through.
No. What else we got?
The next one is got a couple big names in it. You got Bill Skarsgård, you got Anthony Hopkins, and you got a car, and that's pretty much this entire movie. Bill is a he's a thief. He will break into cars, he'll steal stuff. And he just happens to break into the wrong car because Anthony Hopkins has had his car broken into several times. He's also had some other dramatic things happen in his life that I won't give away. I'll save that for the story. But anyway, he gets trapped in a car, and the poster is a little misleading because you can see his hand pressed against the glass. You cannot actually see inside this car. It is soundproof. It is bulletproof, so you can't hear anything. You can't break your way out of this car. And basically, the film is about him. Anthony Hopkins will call into the car, and he just makes things very, very unpleasant for the thief inside in a variety of different ways, which I will not go into. Um, the it's from producer Sam Raimi, which gave me a more I was expecting more from a Raimi picture than we got. This is a very clever film if you're on a tight budget. Make 90% of the movie, 99% of the movie all take place in a car. Brilliant, brilliant. The only problem that I have with this film is it drags on because there's not a lot they can do. There's a lot of dialogue in it. It doesn't really change tones too often. And it does pick up near the end, but I remember at one point thinking, okay, something's got to start happening because this is getting a little dull. Plus, unfortunately, I have Hulu with ads, and I saw
Oh,
the Limu Emu about 16 times while I'm trying to watch this 1.5 hour film. So it's like 2 hours something. So if it's compact in the 90 minutes, it probably moves a lot better. I constantly had interruptions, and it's part of a package I have for free. So I have Hulu for free to begin with, so I never upgraded. But I might have to because this is a film that's the perfect example of why you shouldn't be interrupted throughout a film over and over again
and with the same fucking commercials. That's what kills me.
with the exact same fucking commercials.
So I don't remember if I had the same issue with the commercials. I'm sure I did, but I might have slept through them or
Huh?
nodded off a little bit. So
Oh, did you not make it through this movie?
I did make it through this movie. I seen everything there was. I know I did. The commercials did bother me too much for I just picked up my phone and fucked around on my phone during the commercials. But I liked it. There's not much that it really offers that is different to I guess maybe is this a new genre where they're trapped somewhere? They're trapped on a cell phone tower. They're trapped on a ski lift. They're trapped in an ATM machine.
There was one
I,
in a phone booth, wasn't there? Called
yeah,
phone booth?
yep.
Yeah.
Which I can't imagine that being any fucking good, but maybe.
Because
But
that
I
some
like
bitch
this.
doesn't even move. So,
It,
so,
exactly. The problems I had with this one, and I had a couple problems. Like I said, I still enjoyed it. I wanted to finish it. Um, there was some scenes that dragged, such as the passage of time where Hopkins leaves Skarsgård to just sit in the car for a day and a half or whatever, and it just shows what Skarsgård is doing, which is basically laying around, dehydrating or whatever. A little slow, a little boring. And I had a problem with a little bit when they got mobile because I have a hard time believing that kind of control from a remote control device.
that's
I
being
played,
controlled by Anthony Hopkins.
right. I played Mario Kart many times and I can't control a fucking Mario Kart as good
I'm
as
always going backwards. I cannot get that some bitch. Every time I go to turn a little bit, I go backwards. I'm like, God, I hate Mario Kart. I hate it. I like pole position. I still had every damn billboard driving by, but I at least could get back on the road. You never turn around and go the other way.
Yeah.
It's an old arcade game.
Those were the only. I'm still trying to picture you playing Mario Kart. God damn it!
I swear up a storm. Oh my God. You should have heard me swearing trying to get our interview going. My wife's, can I help you? Can I help you? And she knows, I'll get it. But she's always trying to help me. But yeah, I try to be when I'm on the air, especially when I was in radio. You couldn't swear. You always had to have your wits about you. And for a while, I worked for a small 10 weeks at QVC and I took the phone calls. And somehow, for some reason, they thought it was smart that when you're training people, have them take calls before you're even fully trained. I think it was like
Yeah.
week two out of, I think we had 5 weeks training. Week two, I'm already freaking taking calls and have the complaints come to you, not the orders, the complaints. So you got people swearing up a storm at you. And, because little Timmy didn't get his gift in the mail today, and they're swearing and they're swearing. And then the second the phone disconnects, the next one pops on because you have a headset. You can't just sit there, you hang up and say, okay. Hi, QVC. Thanks for calling. It's fuck you, you son of a bitch. You fucked me over, blah, blah, blah. Beep. Hi, QVC. Welcome. Is you got to be in, you're
Yeah.
getting completely rambunctious and all of a sudden you got to be right back on it. How did I get into this?
I have no idea.
Why did I talk about Why did I bring this up? Oh, because
Cussing and
I
swearing.
didn't used to swear. I think that place just cracked me because I was getting bad before, and then I lost it after that because whenever I had a break, I was swearing up a storm, and my wife caught me, and I had to disconnect the phone, and I was swearing so loud, and I had some scissors and a notepad, and I was going. "Bah!" And it had the scissors gone through the notepad, it would have gone through my hand. And I had to quit immediately because I was having a meltdown. And I'm like, okay, this job is too much. And I was 20, they hired 20 of us. And I was one of the last four remaining people at the end of 10 weeks. I was 2 weeks away from like a huge bonus. And I couldn't do it. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. This place is the worst place in my life. So anyway, back to movies.
Yeah, I noticed during these times we spend together being recorded, your vocabulary is not quite as vulgar as this motherfucker right here.
Yeah. Well, I try online to, or normally to keep it, somewhat respectable. I will swear with the best of them. If I'm on the phone with you, I'll swear up and down. But for some reason, when there's a mic, I try to keep it clean. My wife actually said, she says, I guess in one of the first episodes, she said, "You say fuck a lot." And I'm like, "Do I?" And she said, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I didn't think I did." So now I got her in the back. Oh, and she gave us a rousing review the other day. She does laugh at our show. She thinks it's funny, and she'll listen to it in the background while she's working. And she says, and I quote, "It's just entertaining enough." So if we make a poster for us one day, it quotes just entertaining enough, Paula Pierson.
Wow.
That's her review of us. So
I'm actually honored.
I
I
you know
might
it
shed
could
a
be worse.
tear.
It could be so much worse. Your wife posts, "Oh, I love these guys. They're so sweet." Whatever. My wife, just entertaining enough. No, but she does. She said, "You guys are actually pretty funny." I'm like, I'll take that as a compliment.
Absolutely.
And she likes it when we actually skew off the thing. I don't think we can have it. We could every week we could just have another topic.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll talk about our favorite peanut butters.
I don't know about that one.
So
I
anyway,
like it creamy. You can
I
have the
like it
nuts.
nutty, but now it screws up with my teeth. So now I have to have it creamy. I prefer nuts. I can get a nice handful of nuts in my mouth. I'm usually more happy, but now I just lick the knife clean.
I,
So
I can't even respond to that.
so anyway, let's transition to part two of this show.
Good segue.
These are 5 movies that we saw over the weekend. You saw 2 on streaming, and I saw 3 of them one day after another in theaters the days they came out.
God, do you
So,
not work for a living? What the fuck?
well, I told you I have that subscription,
Oh
so I
yeah.
get all these free movies. So I make, and here's the thing: I didn't even see the movies that were number 1 and number 2. I think number 1 was Demon Slayer. I think number 2 was Conjuring. I didn't see those. I saw these other movies, starting with, and here's going to be a shocker to you, Downton Abbey, the
What?
grand finale. So I'm assuming you've never seen Downton Abbey, the TV show.
You would be assuming correctly, sir.
Okay, well that's unfortunate for you.
I might have had nuts in my hands to go in my mouth while that was airing.
So Downton Abbey, um, everyone's heard of it. It's a period piece. It's about this building back here and the people that live in it. I point to it on the screen, but I don't point to it like there. So there it is. Um, it's it's a follow up from the TV series. The first film came out. I had not watched the series. I had no desire whatsoever to see this series. My wife had been watching it herself, and when the movie came out, she wanted to see the movie. She's like, "I'll go alone if I have to." I'm like, "No, I'll see the movie, but I don't know who any of these characters are." So we're like, I need to at least watch an episode or two just so I know who these people are. And I got hooked right away. It's actually a really well written story with drama and comedy, and it's great characters. And I ended up watching all, I think, 6 seasons of it. And then the movie came out, and I was actually disappointed by the movie because they brought everybody back, but they didn't have much of a storyline. So the second one came out. They brought Hollywood. It was the turning point in Hollywood where they were going from silent films to talkies, and how that affected the people that were in the movies because a lot of them didn't have good voices, so they couldn't continue their streak of big movies because they didn't have the voice for film anymore. Um, so I thought that was interesting. So I liked the second one better than the first one. Well, the third,
Was it my turn?
wake up, people! Damn it! That's okay. The third film, Maggie Smith, the star, died. It still ended up being really good. I liked how it wrapped up. Damn you! You go on to your movie. It's good. If you've seen them, it's good. Screw you.
I do not think I will be
Now I'm gonna
watching this
swear,
movie.
motherfucker.
I think I'm going to drink some more black olive soda pop before I watch this movie. Okay,
All right. Go
on to
on to
something a
yours.
little bit more entertaining than that.
Let's hear it.
We have it's Killing Mary Sue. This film is on Paramount. It's a freebie on Paramount Prime, not Paramount, Amazon Prime. And it is a rather annoying story. It's not a very good flick. Your main character, Mary Sue, is adopted by a senator when she's young because her father is killed trying to rob a convenience store. Her father was played by Jason Mewes from the Jay and Silent Bob films. The senator adopts her, and her mother. No, fuck. We're gonna rechop that part because
Oh
I just
no, you
fucked that
keep it
whole
in.
story up.
You're making fun of me. I'm gonna make fun of you. What happened in this movie? How good was it? You already said it sucked. So my movie better than your movie.
No, I didn't say it sucked. I said it wasn't very good. I didn't say it's a snooze fest.
If we get together, we're gonna have a trilogy Downton marathon.
Only if we have a trilogy of Balloon Shark.
I do believe there's only the one.
I do believe we can watch that one 13 or 14 times to equate three whole movies. So, Killing Mary Sue. As a child, her father, played by Jason Mewes, gets killed trying to rob a bank. Her mother starts dating and marries a state senator. Mary Sue has everything that she could possibly want and turns into this just annoying, delinquent, troublemaking, drug using, partying daughter who fucks up everything and is an embarrassment to the senator. He sends her off all the time. Get out of my face, get out of my house. Um, and it's finally time for him to be reelected. The election is going on. He's behind in the polls, mostly because of the headlines that his daughter in law, his this Mary Sue carriage. See, this movie's fucked up. Anyway, he
I'm
decides
gonna read a book while you're doing this.
he decides that he is going to have her killed. Only it turns out, for some reason, the assassins aren't able to kill her because she is a badass. And she blames it all on Fortnite. Kind of a
Oh,
stupid movie. Kind of stupid.
okay.
The characters aren't very likable. What's the guy's name? Dermot McRule.
But Dermot Mulroney.
Yes,
Mulroney.
rhymes with baloney. He's definitely unlikable. They it was supposed to be a comedy, but I didn't really find anything really comedic about it. I didn't really find anything clever about it because there is a bit of a surprise at the end. It's not a twist ending, but it's kind of a surprise at the end, which, I mean, I'm no dummy, but I seen it coming a long ways away. Was it worth killing some time for? Yeah. If you have insomnia, will that help you go to sleep? Not as much as Downtown Abbey, but yeah, you could make it through this movie. um, but yeah, I wouldn't watch it again. It's not bad. It's not great. It's got Jake Busey in it too. He was kind of entertaining. It's always good to see Jake Busey. Jason Mewes, he had because he's apparently was a drug user in the movie. His teeth were so yellow they looked like my buttered popcorn. Bit excessive. I don't know if that's a thing that, with drug users that their teeth turn butter yellow or not, but we're just going
That's for
to
sure.
we'll move on from there. So far, we've got a snooze fest or a snooze fest, depending on what side of
No,
the
no, no. Mine was good. Mine was good.
Mine was not
Here's
so good.
something. Well, here's the thing. Here's one I would have thought you would watch, but you didn't watch the original. This, well, it's not this. Well, let me see. If I move right here, I got these horns
Oh, you do look
going.
you look like a devil right now with a black shirt.
This is what it looks like. Spinal
Don't you
Tap
make fun
2.
of Downtown Abbey.
I'll stick my horns up your ass. um, Spinal Tap 2. The end continues. Has gotten very bad reviews from the critics, but the people that I know on Facebook that have seen it loved it, and I'm one of those people. I thought it was very entertaining. I didn't expect it to have the same iconic scenes as the first film because that one was so well done and crafted originally. Um, it's one of those that's just hard, that's why 41 years later we're still talking about a film and they're making a sequel because that one was so good. But while it doesn't have the same iconic value as the first one, I still think it's just fun to see these characters, and it's mostly ad-libbed. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. When they go on talk shows, they perform in character. The commentary to the first movie is all them in character. So it's like you're listening to a sequel watching the first film with the commentary. So that's all I needed. That's all I wanted. I wanted to see some commentary. Some people that I didn't expect to come back also came back for this one. It's just good fun. If you like these characters and want to see them do just kooky things in different places, this is the film. The premise is they have split up and come back together so many times. They are currently split up, but their contract with their agent says they have to do one more concert as a reunion. So it's kind of like a Blues Brothers putting the band back together. So part of the fun is seeing what they're doing now and then trying to bring them back into the music mold. So yes, as far as I'm concerned, and my wife, who wasn't a big fan of the original, and I've made her see it a few times, and now she's getting into it more. She was laughing quite a bit in the film, and like I said, a lot of friends that I know that have seen it, they've all liked it too. So forget that the critics say this one only goes up to 2. It may not go to 11, but it's still a worthy sequel to see. There was only one other person in the theater because of this damn Demon Slayer and Conjuring movies are taking all the people away. So please go out and support these guys because they earned it, they deserve it, and trust me, you will laugh at Spinal Tap 2. John?
We might be able to trust you if you hadn't started with Downtown Abbey. Maybe if you would have held
I
that
wasn't
one
going to originally, but it's in my backgrounds that one came up first. So to try to make life easier, I was originally going to start with Final Tap, and then well, that was going to be last. But now that they're saving up the momentum, for a grand finale of Us.
Yeah, but people don't last this long through our. We could put a
We're
naked woman at
just
the end of our
entertaining
video
enough.
we could put a naked woman at the end of our video and no one would comment on it because they didn't go that far.
That's probably true.
We could
YouTube
be
would.
naked at the end of the video.
There you go.
And the
We're
only
gonna do it.
person
We're gonna start doing strip reviews. If we don't like the other person's review, then they got to take off an item.
there you go.
There you
And then
go.
we could have one person say it's slightly entertaining or it's just entertaining enough.
Enough. All right. What's your next movie?
Next movie is Fear Cabin, The Last Weekend of Summer. Another typical movie where the group of kids going out to the woods. They're going to spend the weekend partying it up at a cabin. It turns out that this cabin has a dark history, however. It is the place where bad shit happened back in the olden days concerning a witch and a witch burning. This
Mm.
movie it's entertaining enough. I enjoyed it. I was wouldn't it wasn't so entertaining that I can remember everything about it, other than yeah, it wasn't too bad. Um, it had some good things going for it. The witch was fairly creepy. The blood was non-existent, so that was definitely a downgrade. The little bit of blood looked orange, almost the color of your background right now, with the way the light hit it. It had it like an orange. It didn't look like blood. It looked like he spilled something. You getting horny there? Do I make you horny?
Yeah, baby.
Overall, it's not a bad flick. It is on Tubi, this one. So this is a free one for everybody. You don't have to be a subscriber to Tubi. Just have to watch it. Most Tubi movies, though, are not really, you know, they're hit or miss. This one's kind of middle ground. What you got? That's all I can really say about that movie. There's not much to it. Oh, you suck. Did you do this one with the treadmill?
No, I didn't. I would have loved to. Actually,
I
I would
know,
have loved to.
I know you would
Uh,
have.
I would have. Anytime there's a gimmick, I'm in.
Hmm.
The Long Walk, based on a Stephen King story. Um, I was kind of surprised by this one because I figured, especially being Stephen King, it was going to be more in the Squid Games, Hunger Games realm where you've got 50 young men who are competing for a huge cash prize and a single wish. And they just have to walk until there's only one of them left. You lose, you die. That's just how it works. Um, so I thought there was going to be more, competition between the men to be first. And instead, it's actually more of a hopeful film, oddly enough. There is, graphic violence in it. There's a few other graphic details I won't get involved with, but it's still a stellar film. The performances by these young men is insanely good. Because this entire movie, they're walking and talking. There is so much dialogue that they all had to remember, and these are young guys. These aren't seasoned, actors. Mark Hamill is in it. He plays the major. He does a very good job with that role. He's not in it very long. Another one that is really stands out is Judy Greer. Judy Greer is in it even less than Mark Hamill is, but her emotional scenes just hit you hard. I mean, you feel it in just a few seconds she's on the screen. And she's one I want to interview. Mark Hamill would be a dream interview, of course, because he's, freaking Luke Skywalker. But Judy Greer is somebody who I followed since she was in commercials because I remember her always popping up in commercials. I'm like, that's that same woman that was in the other thing. And then she pop up in some TV shows. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the one from the commercials. And then she had bigger roles and bigger things. And now she's in Halloween and she's in Jurassic and she's in all these movies. So she is, I've always said to my wife, she's the actress I would have loved to have been. She's worked her way up. She's done everything. She's one of probably the hardest working person in showbiz. And it shows in this movie in one little quick glimpse, well, two, I guess she's in it twice, um, how good of an actress she truly is. But these young actors are phenomenal. And they really, right off the bat, you're like, okay, I don't know who they are. I don't know if I'm going to give, a shit how this thing ends. And very quickly, you're getting into it. Even a couple of the characters that you find annoying at the beginning, it's integral to the storyline, and you just realize how good all these people are together. So if there's one of these movies that you want to see on a big screen, I think this one requires it, because I think it's another one where if you watch it at home, especially with ads, it's not going to have the same impact. So please see The Long Walk in theaters. It is definitely a must see.
This one I want to see. I don't know if I'll be able to or if I'll get out for it. But this one I was interested in. I read the story, the short story, The Long Walk. Actually, I think it's more like a novella. Isn't that a Richard Bachman?
I'm assuming it is because it seems like every time he drifted away from horror, he wasn't that what he did was Richard Bachman's, The Running Man and the other
Yeah.
stories. And then when he's doing horror, he was Stephen King because this is not a horror movie. It's horrific in, what's happening, but I didn't feel it's a horror movie. It's just more like it's kind of a violent, somewhat political drama. Because it's kind of in an alternate United States universe in which we have lost a war and we're trying to get our the morale back, and somebody thinks that this is the way to do that. Kind of the same theory that they had with Hunger Games, though that was kind of the opposite. They wanted to control them, and they didn't want them to have hope. This is the opposite. So, but definitely, if you get a chance to see this one in theaters, and definitely if you're going to see it with ads or without, go to the library and pick up a disc of it if you don't want to pay before you watch it with commercials, because I think the commercials will slow it down too much and you will lose interest. You need to just see it as it's unfolding.
Right. This one, like I said, I really wanted to see this one. I was very interested to see how it would play out because it doesn't sound, on paper, it doesn't sound like a very exciting movie where they need
No,
to walk and if they stop, they die. I still want to see it. I really enjoyed the book that was based off of. Love Mark Hamill.
yeah,
Didn't even
yeah. And
recognize
Mark,
him at first.
yeah, I didn't know it was him either. He said I saw him on, one of his socials was talking about being in it. I'm like, I didn't see him in the trailer. And then I went back. I'm like, oh my god, that is him.
Mm-hmm.
So no, yeah, he does. He's not playing Luke Skywalker.
That's
So
for
yeah,
damn sure.
yeah, but no, he's phenomenal in this movie. It's a really good picture, and I didn't want to see it either. What I was kind of interested. I saw the trailer, but I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, a long walk sounds like a long movie. Kind of like Lord of the Rings. To me, I know, everybody can't say enough about how great Lord of the Rings was. I was watching it, especially the second one, and there's a line in it where they're like, how long is this going to take? And I'm like, I'm thinking this. I laughed out loud in the theater because I'm like, I'm thinking the same thing. How long is this walk going to take? But yeah, my wife is the one that really wanted to see that. And this is the third movie because we had seen Thursday we saw Spinal Tap. Friday we saw Downton. This was Saturday. I'm like, do I want to go to another movie? And yeah, no, it was good. So
Yes, you do want to go to another movie.
so either way, there's plenty of movies online and in the theaters to see right now. And we'll tell you about some more coming up in the weeks ahead in future episodes of In the Spotlight. I'm Kyle Pearson.
And I'm John Horton.
I'll do one, you do one, I'll do one. If you did another one, you can stick it in. And if not, I'll just knock out the other one and then we'll just wrap it up.
Oh, I'll definitely stick it in.
Good evening, and well, fuck that. That might not be evening. Recording, aren't we? Yes, yes. Fucking better be working too. God damn it. Okay, so escape. What the fuck is going on here? Escape. Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Like a monkey fucking a football over there.
Oh, right. Oh. Ah. Share.
Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Oh my god.
And that wraps up another edition of In the Spotlight. Hopefully we'll get to some fuck that. So long.
Bye-bye, Grandma.
You laugh, groan, moan, whatever you want, but just don't necessarily talk through it in case we're having that issue.